Well, hi everybody. Gary Sinclair here again. Glad to have you along today. So how does a person decide what's the best of anything? Best is kind of a subjective term, isn't it? Where, lots of people differ in any old category about what's number one. I'll bet we can all think of things that, yes, we would term the best ever, at least for us. Like the best car we've ever had, or the best barbecue, or cannoli, one of my favorites, the best book, the best talk or message, the best movie, the best vacation, the best sports figure of all time. Yeah, the list goes on and on. But how about the best piece of advice you've ever received? Here are a few that probably won't qualify for any of our top 10 lists, but maybe they're a little bit helpful and fun. Like, don't wear a red shirt when you shop at Target. Don't hire an electrician without eyebrows. It'll look weird, but yeah, other problems. For you parents of young kids, only have spaghetti on bath nights. Or avoid awkward silences by taking the stairs. Never go in against a Sicilian when death is on the line, and many of you know where that came from. Well, I have a very serious but practical piece of advice that's at least in my top 3 of all time. And guess where it came from? My mother-in-law. Yeah, Jackie's mom. When our kids, Tim and Amy, were little, we were pretty inexperienced, as most parents are. Did you get a manual at the hospital? I don't think we did. Anyways, as we struggled at times, we looked for some wisdom from those far more experienced than we were, including our parents. And so we used this concept that came from, as I said, my mother-in-law, not only for our parenting, but in dealing with any conflicted relationship or setting. In fact, we've shared it with scores of others informally, in books and even our ministry counseling discussions. So I want to pass it along to you. And I know right now you're thinking, Gary, get on with it. What's the principle? If this is some of the greatest advice ever. But see, this is the time when the online marketers go on saying the same things over and over for the next 45 minutes, and you're waiting for the punchline. I would never do that. I only need about 15. Just kidding. Here you go. Jackie's mom said, you don't always know what your kids will do, but your kids should always know what you'll do. That's it. You don't always know what your kids will do, but your kids should always know what you'll do. And if you think about it, this statement can be applied to all sorts of conflicts in leadership or getting things resolved at work, with friends, other family, people on our teams and committees. Because you never really say this statement to anybody, you just do it casually, kindly, but firmly as needed. See, with children, it could mean something like showing them that we will follow through even if they don't. Let's say a child old enough to obey and do this doesn't put their dirty clothes where asked so they can get washed. Well, you don't know from day to day if they're going to comply or not. But you see, they need to know that every time they don't, their clothes aren't going to get washed. No lectures needed, no shaming, no I told you. Just actions that say, I don't know what you'll do, but here's what I or we will always do. Or at work, a leader has trouble with people getting to key meetings on time. And they've been given wiggle room and some grace, but the expectation is, hey, you need either get there early or right on time, or you're going to miss the beginning of the meeting and some very important items, and we're not going back over them. Now, you don't know, again, what the team will do. Some will comply, others won't. And there's no need to single anybody out. You just start the meeting and let everyone know that, yes, what you said you will do, or you won't do some things, in this case, like wait for them. I have a favorite phrase that I think is pretty true. If you let something continue, it will. So to get the actions desired, you need to do something, and the main thing this little principle says is just keep your word. Give people, including kids, a chance, to do it right the next time, but follow through and keep your word. This can apply in a marriage where one person continues to treat the other one inappropriately or unwisely or in some conflicting way without consideration. So maybe a wise first step would be to say something like this to the other person. Look, all I'm asking for is a call that you're going to be late. But if that's not working for you, then I'm just going to let you know that I'm going to go ahead and eat. I'll leave the rest for you to reheat or whatever your situation implies. Of course, what we choose to do really does need to be done in love and can be, but even love can be firm. There's a verse in the New Testament, Ephesians 4:15, that says we're to speak the truth in love. In fact, trust me, you're going to get pushback when you implement this concept, but you can even respond to that calmly. I call it firm nonchalance, an oxymoron. In other words, you hold the line firmly, but you don't get crazy about it. It's like the day's going to go on. You don't hate the person for everything they did wrong. You clarify your response, and yeah, you're going to hold to it. But then you talk as though life that day or night will go on and tomorrow's a new day. In fact, the helpful part is that we can do that. We can give another chance, at least initially. A child who doesn't have clean jeans one morning because they didn't really follow the plan, they get a new chance the next day. The employee who comes late should have an opportunity to start coming on time. See, there are so many applications of my mother-in-law's wisdom, so I'm going to have to leave all the specifics and situations to you. However, I hope you see why I've valued this so much and how it could be helpful in your world, your life, your family, your work, your school. So let me give you just one more free piece of advice unrelated to what I just said as I wrap up today. Here it is. If you're going to write a hard, challenging email, put the recipient's name in last. Enough said. Talk to you next time. Thanks for listening.